Hey everyone, this is a bit of an experiment. I wanted to do a show involving my subs. I'm 100% open to suggestions on how to improve this or if it even needs to be a thing that happens. I find myself doing way more long format content than I used to, and I don't know how you guys feel about that. So let me know in the comments if you guys like this idea or if you have any ways to improve upon it. What's up everybody, I am Mongoose, you are awesome, and guess what people, we are doing a new show where we're going to bring in subs to talk about whatever you want to talk about. My channel has always been about the most community involvement as possible ever since the casting call days. So joining me today are three of my subs. We've got, introducing first, Blaine Fiasco. Let's hear a little bit about yourself there, Blaine.
My name is Blaine Fiasco. I started playing Paragon when Monolith dropped. Just because I love stabbing and screaming at people.
Okay, right on. And introducing next is Bro Me Away. How you doing, dude?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on here.
Yep, no worries. Who's your favorite Paragon hero?
I was a big howitzer player back in the day. I loved the little rabbit in the mech suit, just pew 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 pew, doing his thing and his howitzer things, and I loved how he was versatile in the way I could use him. I could do him mid lane, off lane. I even ran support Howie a couple times, which, as odd as that was, sometimes would work, depending on who I had on my team. So it was a lot of fun.
I imagine that would work if you coordinated it well, if your carry knew what was up. And coming up next is Mag. How you doing, Mag? Favorite hero and a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm doing fine. I started playing Paragon near the end of Legacy, I believe, and I couldn't get into the game then. I started playing a lot more when Monolith came out, and Yin was my favorite character because I just love trolling low elo carries. It's fun.
Yin was definitely an anti-carry a lot of times. There wasn't too much drawback to her. So let's start off with a little bit of an icebreaker here. Let's play Marry One, Boink One, Kill One. I think Bro Me Away, I think you suggested that we do this one here. And I'm gonna make it tough on you guys. Let's go with Shinbi, Countess, and Bellica. So Blaine, you're up first.
That's a bit hard for me to decide, but I would say marry Shinbi because she's fun, just because she's crazy. Who's the third choice?
Bellica.
Blank Bellica? Because that's what's left.
Okay. You were very broken up. I didn't hear who you were going to boink. Who was it?
Kill Countess and blank Bellica.
Blank boink, whatever you want to do. Bro Me Away. What's your answer?
Oh man, this ain't even tough. I give you right off the bat. I'm a kill Shinbi. Just because it's so easy. I'm a Boink Countess because she get freaky.
Oh yeah.
And I know I'm not the only one who has internet, so I'll just leave it at that. And oh man, dude, I gotta marry Bellica, man. She's prim, she's proper, but she knows how to take care of her business. She always got her hair in a bun, her hair in that ponytail, and but I tell you what, man, when it comes down to business, she can take care of herself, and I like that.
You like that in a woman. All right, Mag, yes, what's your answer, man?
I don't really understand what's going on.
Moving on to Mongoose. I would marry Shinbi because I have an unfair advantage because I knew who I was going to pick before we even went into this. But I would marry Shinbi because I imagine she's rich, being an intergalactic pop star. Definitely Boink Countess because like you said, she a freak. And then I would kill Bellica because I think her mana sucking drone is indicative of her being like a soul sucking winch in a marriage. So I'll go ahead and kill Bellica off, I think.
But doesn't that mean she can suck really well, though?
Oh, shit. I didn't even think of that. That's a good point. Good point. So,
mind blown.
All right. I might have to reevaluate the situation here. All right, so let's go around the table, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Blaine, what is your topic that you want to discuss today?
Okay, my topic was, since I want to become an internet voice actor, I was really excited for the upcoming Paragon voice lines, They're all completely released. I was extremely disappointed, especially in like Countess and most other ones. My topic of discussion is, what do you guys think happened to the original 13 voice actors for the original 13 characters? Because really good, but who they replaced them with sounded like they got random people off the street to just
Yeah.
like didn't the voice actor for Grux play Reinhardt?
Yes, the guy who played Reinhardt did Grux.
Actual professionals.
Yeah, that's what happened to them. They were too expensive. So yeah, the original voice actors that they had lined up for Paragon, they ended up not using them because they were so expensive and they didn't want to invest that much money in the game. Paragon was originally kind of more of a showcase for the Unreal Engine than it was. I mean, it was always meant to be a game, but it was also kind of dual purpose as a showcase for the Unreal Engine. So they never really planned to dump too much into it, and that's why they couldn't keep those voice actors. Mag, Bromy, have you guys ever? I did it.
There it is.
Mag and Bromy away. Did you guys ever hear the voice lines that they released for the heroes? I mean, they never put them in the game, but
No,
Mag,
I never heard them. I never heard any of the voice lines from any of the characters.
yes, like Blaine was saying, the original ones were really cool. Bromy away. How do you think? How important do you think it is? Voice acting is for a game like Paragon.
I think it adds just an extra added dimension and a layer of depth into the game. Obviously, it's not. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not necessary to have a playable game, but for that immersion that you want out of a game, out of a AAA game, to make your players more invested and to just kind of have that more exciting aspect of, oh, my character's hurt. Oh, I got hit with a critical, and then next thing you know, you hear your Shinbi go, like she's really hurt. I mean, it really adds that other added dimension that a lot of people tend to look for in a game. And to answer your question, yes, I have actually. I've heard all of them, and some of them are pretty good, and some are really bad.
I think we just found a new voice actor for Shinbi at least. That was spot on, dude.
See, that's actually the sound that she made when I killed her, and then I went to Point Countess and went back home to my bay where she can suck really good.
Blaine, what'd you have to add?
I was going to ask me which ones he thought really sucked and which ones he thought was good.
I can hands down tell you the one that stuck out to me, and just to make sure we're being clear, we're talking about the ones that were released that even included Revenant and all of the newer characters, correct?
Yeah, the second set.
I was actually a big fan of how they did Chimera. That was the one I was looking most forward to. And I can honestly say it didn't disappoint as far as I'm concerned. I thought that Revenant was going to be a little more menacing, but they made him talk like where I come from, and so, and that actually is the inspiration behind, we're in Discord right now and you can see the picture. I'm a big Office fan and a big Paragon fan, so Reddit did to Revenant there. So the one that I thought actually was really disappointing was, as sad as this is to say, is Howitzer. I thought that it was not. When I heard it, I'm like, that is not how I picture Howitzer would sound at all.
I would think of Howitzer as being kind of gruff sounding, even though he's small, because he's got that cigar in his mouth and everything. He seems kind of a. I don't know. I wouldn't expect a high pitched voice from him. Is that what he had? Because I don't remember.
He had a very high pitched, kind of like, "Oh, I'm ready to take him on. Let's go." I'm like, nah. Maybe throwing a couple coughs in there because he's puffing on that cigar all match long,
Which always kind of amazed me. That takes some balls to be in a mech suit full of high explosives and be puffing on a cigar the entire time. So, Broby away. What was your what topic would you like to discuss?
Personally, my topic for discussion lies more around the mechanics of the game. So I started out in Legacy, and I actually started out as Rampage. He was the very first hero I ever played, and I played him for a while. And then I ended up going to Howitzer and moving on to different characters throughout Monolith. What I would like to know is what could have version 42 done differently to not drive away so many players, because I mean, you got the one hand, you got people that would say, oh, well, the card system was outdated, we need something different. And then you have those that said, like I did, when I first logged onto the game after version 42 dropped, my first reaction was, what game is this? Because this is not Paragon. This is not the game that I fell in love with.
I think there's a lot they could have done differently. What it seemed to me, this was kind of always my little pet theory, is that they were doing everything they could to draw in the first-person shooter fan base into the game. And that's kind of a fickle fan base. I think they did draw... version 42 did draw in a large amount of players, but they just didn't stay. So what they did was they made it faster and more aggressive, which did draw in those players, but then they left. And then also the old school players didn't like the direction of the game, so they also left. So they were getting it from both ends there. I think if they would have kept it as a MOBA instead of they kept trying to force it into a third person shooter. I think that's probably the big mistake they made with version 42.
I completely agree, and like I'll open it up to the rest of you guys. I guess if you all would also want to answer, personally, I feel that Metabuff is absolutely doing what they say they're going to do. Yes, they pushed Alpha back, but honestly, that's to be expected. You can't hold a company to say, "Hey, we're going to come out on this day and it's cut cookie cutter dry. Here you go." I'm of one of those people that know if they need more time, because they say, we're listening to your feedback, we're listening to what you have to say, and they actually do it like they are doing. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you feel like Metabuff truly is taking everything from the failures of Epic and putting it into an effort to make the game that we all know it can be?
Well, perfect person to talk about that just joined the chat. It would be Dark Lee, known as Breaking Coral in here. Dark Lee, let's intro you real quick since you just popped in. Favorite Paragon hero and a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Darkly16. My favorite hero is FaZe. And I am a crazy, chaotic person that likes to break away from what everyone else is doing. I don't like the meta. I don't follow that. I try to make my own trend. That's just how I am.
And you work for Metabuff a little bit, right?
Yeah, I do like corporate stuff, and I make sure that I keep all of their documents in order.
Okay, right on. So, what do you think about the alpha delay that Bromeo was just talking about?
I wish that it didn't happen, but stuff happens, and we want to bring out the perfect product that we can give you.
Absolutely.
Blaine, what's your thoughts?
I'm a little bit more negative about it, but I'll try to remain optimistic. I was a bit upset when I found out about the news. They need more time. I just don't want them to make a habit out of stuff like this, because my patience.
Mag, what you got anything to add to the alpha conversation for Core?
Well, yeah, as much as I'd like to play the game, I feel like release dates are usually a bad thing for companies, because it forces them to release it on a certain day, and pushing it back, it basically just, we wouldn't want them to showcase a buggy or like an extremely buggy or bad game, and then everyone would, like most people, even though I'm sure no one watching would be like that, but certain people are just look at the alpha of a game and think that's what the final product would be like, and they just turn away from the game. Like, I feel a lot of people have turned away from Predecessor after its alpha. The game, like, both the games just need to take their time and improve. Like, that's what I have to say about it.
I think that's also reflected to Mag's point, and Mongoose, you do your weekly polls. You would think that, especially after Predecessor, and you know what, kudos to what they're trying to do, because it's a team of, from what I understand, 6 people, and they put out what they put out. It's not a small feat, but I think the community has spoken in that, especially through your surveys, that they weren't really fond of what they saw in Predecessor, and from what they're seeing from Core, from all of the content that the influencers are coming out with, streaming the map, I think there's a much more positive feel to what Metabuff is trying to do with Core.
I think a lot of that, however, comes down to, well, for one thing, we haven't seen gameplay from Core, so we can't really make a judgment between Core and Predecessor yet, I don't think. We'll have to wait till we do see that gameplay. And then the other thing is, Core has a lot of support in their corner from the PS4 community, because they have taken so many strides towards bringing the game back to console, which all the games plan to eventually release on console, but Core has really shown us a little more proof for that than any of the other games. So I think that's the main reason that Core has garnered so much support, because the Paragon fan base was 70% PS4 players, and Core is pretty much the PS4 version that or game that everybody's kind of looking forward to right now.
True.
Once we see some gameplay from Core, we could definitely make a much better comparison between Core and Predecessor, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're absolutely right in the fact of, Core has not shown us any gameplay PvP, or all we've had is Kalari running around and doing Kalari things on the map. But at the same time, it's a really beautiful map that they put out, and I actually just streamed a little bit ago, and you fly up all the way up above the map, and they've even gone so far as to put, like, you can see almost like an ET shadow as she runs across the pearls and everything, which
nice.
I'm like, it's just that attention to detail is just what's really got me captivated and hopeful for the future.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't realize that was there.
Oh, yeah.
We're about to go take a look at it here in a bit.
Absolutely. Let me know what you think. It was only a 30-minute stream anyway, so it won't be that long.
Right on. Mag, you got any topics you want to talk about? Dark Lee, what you got for us, brother? Oh, Dark Lee, before we get into it, you got to marry one, boink one, kill one.
Oh God. What is it?
Your options are Grux, Rampage, Chimera. I'm just kidding.
It is Shinbi, Countess, or Bellica.
Ooh, Bellica dies.
Yes, thank you.
Because
what's wrong with you people?
I was a phase main. That's what's wrong with these people. Shinbi to marry.
Really? And you're going to kill off Countess?
I thought I killed off Bellica.
Oh yeah, you killed off Bellica. That's right. So you're going to boink Countess, marry Shinbi. All right, yeah. We aligned. We had the same answer there. So what's your topic, Darkly?
I brought it up last time, and I kind of like the idea of having heroes have, like, if you equipped a card to a hero, they get a certain ability, maybe a extra passive ability to that hero, but only to that hero if it's equipped. I think it would make things different. Like, oh, he's got this card on this hero, so be careful of what they can do.
Now, you brought this up. This is the second time we've tried to do this, by the way. You brought this up last time. I'm still a little confused on what you mean by that. Do you mean like it's a generic card, but like if, like, say the card is named Flowers of Arachnia or some bullshit like that, and if Shinbi equips Flowers of Arachnia, it gives her this ability, but if Bellica equips Flowers of Arachnia, it gives her this ability. Is it something like that?
kind of like that. You know how they had our affinity system with growth, darkness. So let's say you got like characters who are in void, so it'll give another effect for that void character, but it wouldn't do it for someone who is not a void affinity.
That's an interesting suggestion. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I thought you were talking more about like Candace had a unique card for her called Civil for her ultimate, where it reduces the damage but like speeds up the animation or something like that.
Who was that again?
This for her festival.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that card existed.
I was just making an example of what I thought he was talking about.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So is that more along the lines?
All of the above.
Okay.
So it sounds to me. It sounds to me, and this is just for context of healthy discussion. It sounds to me a lot like what you've just described is a lot of the way they did version 42. And the first thing that comes to mind is Deathcrawler Grux and how broken that was. If you have a certain card attached to a certain hero, it gives them a certain ability or certain powers, and then I guess at the end of the day, you can make sure that you balanced both the heroes and the cards enough. But I don't know, just the way you described it took me back to version 42 and me going, what is this game now?
Oh, it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting concept. Like you said, it would introduce some balancing problems. So I don't know how well it would work out for them.
Well, it could always, instead of like, it would just change a character's ability. Like if anyone has ever played Two Worlds 2 in their magic system, you could basically change how a magic spell works by having like another spell.
Mm-hmm.
So I would consider it like a card. You equip this card, and instead of Phase's beam doing root, it does something else. Does something entirely different.
So it's kind of like Blaine was talking about, where something that would speed up Countess's ultimate, but make it do a little less damage. It would just be like an addition to an ability.
Right. Ability change. Her link, instead of linking to a friendly to heal, you could link to an enemy and drain.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Or you could actually bring out Goku and do the Kamehameha.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Take it away, buddy!
We don't
you
need
just see Goku fall out of the sky and just delete the entire team.
We do not need to encourage phase carry players, okay?
Yeah.
That's what Darkly
already
was.
Encouraged. I have a video proving how OP she can be.
We have to admit, we've all done it.
That's how I met Darkly. I was talking about it last time. I was viciously making fun of his phase gameplay on Casting Call.
You know what always would scare me, and I played phase, and anytime that I had the chance, and I didn't hear a lot of people talk about this combo, because you would hear like your phase Sparrow, you would hear your your phase Revenant. I would be more scared of a phase Chimera combo because, dear God, you stack health regen, and then you share that with Chimera, and then the dude just keeps swinging. Rawr.
You have not seen my phase Narbash combo.
Yeah, that was the one that kind of broke the game a little bit. It was phase Narbash, they were unkillable together. But yeah, I did like Phase and Chimera. I've highlighted that a few times. It was like Chimera could just go, be as stupid as Chimera could be, and if it got him in trouble, Phase just pull him back, and he's just right back to full health, and just bam, right back into it.
I've actually dealt with that combination before. It's not fun to play against.
The Phase Chimera.
Can you imagine that in real life? Come here, buddy, yeah, and then he goes, Rawr!
If they had, imagine like skins that worked off of each other, like there would be like a mad dog skin for Chimera, and like FaZe could have like a leash for one of her skins just specifically for the Chimera. That would be cool.
Yo, you're talking about Countess getting kinky. Now you're talking about FaZe getting a leash.
And Chimera getting a dog collar.
Oh my god.
Oh, we just reduced poor Chimera to a gimp. All right.
Let me call that booty.
Call that booty. That should be a voice line for Chimera.
Booty call.
Oh, great movie. Booty call.
Oh no.
So, all right, we'll move on to my topic for discussion. Kind of also deals with. You got one, Mag. You thought one up.
I had something to add to Darkly's topic they chose.
Okay, go for it, man.
So they were talking about like hero specific cards, and I was thinking like something like the talent system from Paladins. If anyone's ever played that game, or like at the beginning of the match, you can choose like one of like I think it's 3 now cards, which like alter an ability or give you like a bonus to a certain stat or something.
Yeah.
It's like you can only choose one of those 3 for the whole game. But you could like make one ability do less damage but be on a shorter cooldown or something like that. Or you could choose one that just increases your attack speed or something like that.
I'd forgotten all about Paladins. That is a really good comparison.
That's what I thought he was talking about whenever he brought up that topic.
Yeah, spot on, Mag. Spot on. Well done, old chap. So let's move on to my topic for discussion. I want to talk. This kind of ties into version 42. Version 42, did it turn Paragon into a pay-to-win game? I think it did, personally. What do you guys think?
I would say I disagree. A lot of people, had all the cards, but I remember when I first started playing Paragon and I didn't have all the cards. I thought I was at a disadvantage when I looked at the enemy and saw that they had cards that I did. But when I think about it, it wasn't really that big of a difference because it worked, and I eventually got all the cards on my own. It didn't seem pay to win to me.
No, okay.
I gotta tend to agree with Mongoose. You know, I don't want to. Personally, keep rehashing a subject, but you have your example like your Deathcrawler Grux. If you didn't have that Deathcrawler and you played Grux, if it was a Grux versus a Grux, one had Deathcrawler, one did not, there's not even a question of who would win. It's either how long would it take the one to kill the other, the Deathcrawler to kill the non-Deathcrawler, or, how long can that other one survive? I tried to look at it as objectively as I could when it comes to the downfall of Paragon, but I think Epic just, as we saw with Fortnite, became a cash grab. And I think that's the way they started to look at Paragon, and then once they saw that the money was in Fortnite, they were just like, forget Paragon, we don't even care anymore.
Yep. I agree with you there. A lot of people bring up, like, no, it was skill versus skill. Is the more skilled player will always win. No. If you have 2 equally skilled players, one of them has better cards. The one with better cards wins. And if you are a new player in Paragon, how do you get those better cards? You buy fucking loot boxes. Mag, what do you got to say on the topic?
Yeah, I also never felt like it was pay to win because I got most of the cards immediately. And I felt like rep was easy to earn, so you could buy the cards you needed. But, I guess maybe some people didn't see that way.
Another thing was, I didn't build what everybody else was building. You know how everyone had 2 affinities before version 42?
Right, yeah.
I would still try to build according to their affinities, which was kind of weird. Even for characters that never had affinities, I try to imagine what affinities they might have had. And
you mean like Terra?
Yeah, for Terra, I made her Order and Fury.
That makes sense. Makes sense for Terra. Darkly, what do you think? Pay to win or no?
I might have had that incentive thought then. I might have not. It was really hard to say because I had all the cards. I don't think right now that it was pay to win. I really don't. And that is, I guess, it's subjective. It is, in my opinion.
It is. That's why we're talking about it.
So for example, I just like you all, I started in Legacy, worked my way through Monolith up to version 42. I too had pretty much all of the cards, and it's not like I was lacking anything that was absolutely essential for the main characters that I would play. I was able to see it as, okay, so I'm this guy, I play myself, and I have all these cards. Well, if somebody new comes in, of course they're going to start, if they're newer, they're going to start at lower level. But, if you got friends that you play with and you hop in with them and they're even low mid-tier gold, that new player is going to be like, okay, so I was suddenly in the jungle and then suddenly I saw the death timer. What happened? Oh yeah. It was the Grim with the 15-second ultimate.
And then he had some kind of card that interacted with his ultimate, right?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest example I can think of is the Deathcrawler, or was it Deathcrawler?
Yeah, Deathcrawler Grux.
Yeah, on Grux, it was. I mean, originally it was like if you were playing Kalari and you didn't have Deathcrawler, then you were doing it wrong. Like you were playing a meme deck pretty much. And she was just destroying people with that shit. And I think all the items should be available to everyone from the beginning, like most MOBAs are, and like a lot of these MOBAs are doing it now. I don't think you should ever have to buy anything as far as items go. I think it should all be cosmetic as far as monetization goes. I know a company does have to make money somehow, so. But I think I don't think items are the way to do it. I think cosmetics are the way to do that.
So if all the cards available, I think then it would have been just a problem of item balance.
Well, what do you mean?
You all are saying that if you didn't build Kalari with a certain card, then you were doing it wrong. If all those cards were available at the start, requirement wouldn't go away. So that just means that one particular card is just too strong that it has to be quote unquote that it has to be.
Yeah, I think Blaine, you're onto something there. If they just would have balanced the cards better, it wouldn't have felt so necessary to have certain cards on certain heroes. So it's yeah, that's definitely a balance issue. I'm picking up what you're putting down, man.
Bringing it back some PTSD.
Fucking Kalari and Countess just were destroying people when 42 first dropped. Ugh.
I managed to survive a Kalari encounter with Deathcrawler. Came up behind me. I had a lot of points and 2 health, so it ticked me down to like just a sliver, and it kind of surprised her for a little bit, and I blind her and then I kill her. I'm like, yeah, how about you stay away from me?
Always on that phase. All right, guys, I think that's gonna about wrap it up for this episode. Let's go around. If anybody wants to plug anything, your Twitch channel, YouTube channel, whatever
I finally had a topic.
Oh, Mag, you have a topic. Let's go for it then, man.
So my topic was basically going to be like, what should the game monetize then? Because most MOBAs have it so you have to pay to unlock your characters as well, and you get like a small percent of them from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Usually like 1 or 2 in each role you get from the start, and then you have to pay for each individual. But Paragon did not do that, as far as I'm aware.
Nope, not at all.
If I may, I think I could probably answer that, or at least have a semi-intelligent answer for that. Paragon did not have as many heroes as, let's say, your League of Legends, where you had a set amount of heroes. Like for me, off the top of my head, I remember Kale, Garen, Darius, Sona, and Lee Sin were available, and then those are like the 5 that I would play. Which, by the way, Shameless plug. Can we please get a Lee Sin hero meta pup? Oh my god, I love that dude. I love that dude in League of Legends so much. But anyway, back on topic. So to answer your question, League of Legends has a ton of heroes to choose from where they can offer new players various heroes for free, and then eventually those heroes get phased out, and then new heroes get introduced as the quote-unquote free ones. And then as you play, you can get, shards, where you can eventually permanently unlock characters without having to pay for them, but you always do have that option to just go ahead and outright pay. So cores, what they're going to run into is, right now they don't have enough heroes to be able to do that. Once they get more grounded and more heroes begin introduced, then maybe they could look at the potential of doing, okay, so we'll do these first 5 characters for free, and then we'll rotate them out after a quote-unquote season, and just rinse and repeat.
That's one way to do it, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The other way is just cosmetics, really. I mean, that's the main way any game makes money anymore. Paragon kind of fucked that up too, though, or Epic kind of fucked that up too when they started
loot boxes.
Yeah, when they started gating skins behind loot boxes, that was just horrible.
Like, that's another thing I wanted to ask about is, like, what are your opinions on having to pay money to unlock a skin? Like, usually skins are locked behind some sort of rare currency that you can earn. Like, not that frequently, but you can earn it if you play a lot. But then there's some skins which you have to pay real money to get, no matter what.
I just ignore those skins.
Act like they don't exist.
I think everything should be earned in game.
Yeah,
even the currency.
I don't know. They got to make money somehow. I don't have a problem with them locking certain skins behind having to actually pay real money for them. As long as you don't do it by loot boxes, so that you have to gamble for that skin. If they do a skin like that, then you should be able to just pay straight up for that skin, not have to dick around with buying like 50 loot boxes to get skins for heroes that you don't play, and reskins, and maybe a color change on a skin that you already have or some shit. That was horrible.
I think having what Epic run into is when they just had the loot boxes, and they you can only obtain skins through the loot boxes, is you run into issues where in today's day and age, without getting to PC or anything, you would have little Johnny who's like, ooh, I really like that Kwong skin. I'm going to keep rolling mommy's credit card until I get this here skin that I want. And that becomes an issue of, almost like you said, Mongoose, gambling for that skin. If they at least offer the option to say, okay, you can do the loot box, or you can purchase it for X amount, that would, in my not so humble opinion, would clear a bunch of problems out with people trying to quote unquote gamble.
Yeah, a lot of countries have actually outlawed loot boxes because they have deemed it to be gambling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of fuck EA's day up.
Yeah, I agree that loot boxes should be considered gambling.
That'll be a good topic for another day, I think.
Yep.
All right, I think that is going to wrap it up for now. Let's go around the table. Anything you want to plug? YouTube channels, Twitch streams, whatever the hell. Starting with Blaine, what you got? Any final thoughts and anything you want to plug?
Well, for plugs, I have a BitChute, a Minds.com account, and a Gab.ai account, and a YouTube. I'm in the Twitter. There's nothing on any of them.
Okay. I've never even heard of some of those.
I'm going to start working on a video for them later this week or next week.
Okay, right
next
on.
month.
Dark Lee, what you got?
I've got a YouTube. I've got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the socials. It's Darkly16. Not hard to find.
Bro me away.
So I really only have 2 shameless plugs. Come by anytime. Twitch on my Twitch channel would be Bro Me Away Plays. Now that I've got an alpha key, I'm doing streaming for Metabuff and Core, just looking around the map, learning as much as I can. Just come by, hang out anytime. I love to talk to whoever would feel free to stop by for any amount of time they would like. And shameless plug to my darling fiance, soon-to-be bride, for putting up with me doing all this gaming stuff and annoying her with so much gaming knowledge that she probably would rather not know, but she supports me. I love you. Mwah.
Well, that was so sweet. Mag, you got anything?
Yeah, I have a YouTube, but I upload some questionable things on there, so
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Good to go. Good to go. All right, that's going to do it for the first episode of the Goose Den. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to join in on the conversation, hit me up. I will warn you that I put the post up for an hour and had filled up for a month, almost immediately. So it will be a little bit before you can get into the show, but yeah, I look forward to see you in there. For now, this is Mongoose signing off. You guys have a good one. Mangoose!